Order of the Solar Temple by Cassandra Garcia. The Order of the Solar Temple is a very unique name, which is where I wanted to start off with. It is also known as the Order du Temple Solar in French. Kind of sounds Spanish, and this is where the quote also originated from. The Solar Temple is known as a small and new religious movement found in Geneva in 1984 by Luc Jorat, a homeopathic physician, and Joe de Mambro. They originated from the revival of the Knight Templar. All right, so who are the Knight Templar? It is a military religious order from the 12th century in the years of the French Revolution. It is a large group of Christians during the medieval era that carried a mission to protect all Europeans that traveled to visit the Holy Lands. In 1118, Hughes de Payne created a military order. He called it the Poor Fellow Soldiers and the Temple of Solomon, which is where the name changed to Knight Templar. The coat is also known as the Doomsday Coat. Luke Jorat, the founder, which is one that we spoke of earlier, believed that the end of the world would come between the 1990s, which is not true because that was the years that I was born, 1995. They had claimed that it was a vision, but of course it became to be a lie now that we're in 2020. In 1994, Luke began to believe that the end was near and it was time to move on to another planet. And on this planet, this is where they would be safe from doomsday and, of course, the end of Earth and time according to their beliefs. In order for this vision or this new land to appear, in order to get to this place, such things had to be done. Well, unfortunately, in order for them to enter the new state of living, they had to commit some sacrifices. So 53 members committed suicide or were murdered in Canada and Switzerland on the days of October 4th and October 5th, 1994. Gerard's remains were also among the 53. It was also found in these recent days and years that was ordered for, he had ordered a baby to be killed because he believed that it was the Antichrist. It also continued after 16 more died in France, December 1995, and then the following year, a few more also had died by suicide or murder. This is one of the main subjects that the cult is known for. Of course, it's a very uncomfortable and unusual event that does not happen in your everyday lives. This also arose many conflicts with this cult that made it illegal to be in it, um, which is why it does not exist today. Many secrets have just appeared after so many years, after 20 plus years. So this is one subject that brings this cult to life and has people interested in why they did such things. So, what does or did the group outwardly say to recruit members into the cult? The leaders were rich, attractive, very good influencers. The new members could not interact with family or friends, so all they had was the code, and that was their new personality. They lived with Mambro to control and force the beliefs much easier. You can see this is very a very good tactic to convince someone into believing them is by allowing them to see your everyday lives and bringing them into your personal homes rather than sending them off and they do their own things and forget what they have learned or forget to do a ritual or a prayer, which I can see for any religion. Um, I'm guessing why these are called cults because they go the extra mile to keep you captive into what they believe to keep you controlled. So it's very interesting how many of the members stayed with the leaders and the leaders overwatched them to see how they lived their everyday lives and to give them orders, also to practice these rituals. One thing that stands out with this quote, my apologies, is that it is huge on persuasion and obedience. I mean, in order to get a member with Indico, it seems to be like a salesman in the mall that is trying to sell you a perfume, and they continue to call you and, hey, buddy, try this, or it might be good for a date, or buy it for your wife. I know you don't have this one. It's custom made from a different country, or it's a very special source that you can't get here within your area of living, which is what I see them doing. They have the appearance of rich and attractive. So when you see a rich person, you're more accustomed to have confidence in them because they obviously or they got rich somehow, either by education or by simply building their own business. So we tend to have more confidence. Also, attractiveness. You would rather spend, people would rather spend time with a wealthy man or woman than possibly a homeless that's on the street. It, it might it might even go to how they are outwardly, how they smell, how they talk. So that is one great aspect that they have. Also, being influencers, there are many people that are just naturally good at influencing others in doing such things um, by maybe they're just natural at it or they know how to convince the person. So the entire cult is based on these influential men that would take you under their wings and feed you pretty lies to have control over you because of their beliefs. If you did not do as they say, they would make you feel miserable and lonely out in the road. It's pretty disturbing of how well they are at this because the members would do ceremonies and participate erotic ceremonies and participate in brutal activities like the murder of a baby because they believed that it was the Antichrist. Some were even willing to sacrifice themselves. Some also forced others. there has to be a lot of good works in order to get the results of these crucial obedience obedient acts. So why would someone stay in this cult specifically? I believe people joined the groups because of the teachings that instilled fear into the people that would join, the fear of losing Earth and the apocalypse that was soon to come, and not becoming involved with it. So they convinced them by stripping them of having nothing. And the fear that they placed is what would keep them in the cult, because outside of it there's nothing left. And also they must have their own opinions before they enter the cult of doomsday or of the apocalypse, just like the shows that are placed on Netflix or on TV of the doomsday preppers. They solemnly believe that there is going to be a day where the end of the earth comes. I mean, which I can't say that there might not be one, but some, of course, take it more seriously and have their tactics that have them believe, and their studies that have them believe that it might be at a certain time or it might be sooner. In my own thoughts, I think it's just whatever random day the earth wants to end, or become a doomsday is just random and no one really knows. However, these um, members do not believe the same. They have estimates and they want to prepare for that day, and many are fearful of what would happen if they were here when all earth goes berserk and destruction arise. No one wants to be in a place as such. The previous question made a pathway into this question. I might have spoke on it already or seemed like I'm repeating myself. What might prevent him or her from leaving? If someone in the cult wanted to leave, would it be an easy transition? Leaving any sort of custom or religion that continually place teachings and practices is hard to leave already. I myself am not in a cult, but I believe, of course, religions have their own beliefs and systems and their own, I can't say persuasions, but teachings as well. And you learn these for years, maybe your whole life, and it's sort of hard to get out of that mindset. I'm an Pentecostal, and we believe in certain afterlife um, beliefs and um, one God. There's um, a lot of readings and teachings that we learn throughout the Bible of our years. So, and this is nothing like cult. They don't really control you. Maybe they do. They instill some rules in you, but we don't have to stay in someone's house or do sacrifices or certain rituals. um, we live life normally with, I guess you can say, a system that we have been accustomed to and believe in. However, coats are very different. In this one specific, the coat before you enter has you get rid of your family, not get rid, but lose all connection with families and friends. Um, you're you're now theirs. They make you feel like you have nobody else but them. That if you go anywhere else, they're going to use you. The government's going to use you. The system's going to use you. When this day that they all dread, which is doomsday comes, you're going to be by yourself, and there's going to be no one to help you because you have left them and they are your supporter. Without them, you're nothing. It's just you by yourself, and of course, you have no more connections because you've left those to join this new family. So the transition would be very difficult for one to leave. I believe mentally and physically as well, because I don't think they would let you leave so easily after what you have found and what you were involved during these rituals and secret sessions that have happened while you have been in the quote. Well, we have come to the ending. Thank you for listening and viewing my presentation. Also for hearing me rant on and stutter and say and a lot. I appreciate these 8 weeks that you have spent with us. It has been great. A lot of great presentations, a lot of great questions and discussions. I hope to soon have you again for maybe another course. So I would also like for you to give yourself a round of applause because you are a great professor, especially during these times of the pandemic. It has been a wonderful 8 weeks. I hope you do well. Um, please stay safe and hope to see you soon. Thank you.